Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Before we begin, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell, and share this with someone that you think it would be a blessing to. And don't forget to join us every Wednesday night at 6:30 here in Surprise, Arizona. And remember, youth matter.
When God speaks something, it happens. And he spoke things into existence, except for mankind. Why do you think that is? I struggled so long thinking that anyone loved me. I thought I did so many bad things that it's impossible for anyone to love me. So I kept masking my identity with all these things so that no one could see who I truly was. But we see right here that God sees his creation and he calls it good. Not only that, when he was done creating man and woman, you know what he said? Very good. I feel like, now it doesn't say this, but I feel like he almost got tears in his eyes because he's so proud of seeing us and saying very good. Like this proud papa, this proud father of this creation that he made. He didn't just speak it to make it happen. He took his time by making it out of dust. Such a humble beginning. Dust. My wife hates dust. I don't like dust. I feel like I clean it and then it's just right there. I feel like a superhero and like Mr. Incredible when like he saves something and it's like, I just cleaned up this mess. I got to get back here and do this again. That's how superheroes are. They save the day and then they have to come back like a week later and save it again. That's what I feel like with dust. I just cleaned this and my wife's like got the white glove out, and sees all the dust and you got to clean it up again. But yet he saw dust as something he can create into something beautiful. Not only that, he breathed life into it. He breathed his breath into mankind. He breathed life into dust. And you know what's cool? I remember when I just was so lost, not knowing if anyone could actually see the real Matt, thinking that I'd done so wrong. I wish someone would have just saw me and asked me how I was doing. But even if they did, I'd probably give them the church answer, Hunter, and push them away to say I'm good because I was afraid of what they would see. And I remember my dad, he took a trip to Jerusalem and he came back with this wooden carving of this boy and this huge hand. And my dad placed it by my bed. He said, remember whose hands you're in. That's what matters. When you look at these hands, whose hands are you in? And there's this verse that stood out to me when my dad did that. It was carved on there. And it said, I'll never forget you. I've carved you on the palm of my hand. It's talking about how God sees us. And I'm thinking of how he picked up that dust, picked up that dirt, and how he just had you in his hand, taking this time to mold you, to create you. Not just speak it, but to say, I just love it. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Not only that, to just hold you and just breathe life into you and say, there. And then he looks at it, he's like, this is very good. There's nothing wrong with how you're created, how God has designed you. The things that you think that you see that's wrong with you in the mirror, that's not true. Tell those thoughts to go back where they came from. Because you got a Father that sees you and says, you're very good. I love you so much that I sent my son to come die for you. And I've got the whole world in my hands. That includes you. And when you put your faith and trust in me, nothing can snatch you out of this hand. So whatever it is that you're struggling with, you're doubting, it's hard to get a grip on life sometimes. Remember whose hand that you're in, and there's comfort in that. You could probably take a nice nap on that big soft palm of his hand, knowing that you're safe. King David said it best when he said, I fell asleep, but yet I woke up in safety. He said that prayer when his own son was trying to kill him. He had so much faith and trust in the Lord that he knew whose hands that he's in. And you are different than every creation he ever made. He didn't create you out of gold, out of gems, out of all these things, but out of dust. He picked you up and he breathed life and said, it's very good. He held you in his hand. And he still has you in his hand. Do not forget whose hands that you're in, that you matter, that you're important, and that you're set apart to be different and to carry this light into this darkness and show people the light that lives in you and just point back to the Creator that says, listen, I know you probably feel like a mistake. You feel like you don't have a purpose, But you were made with a purpose. You're recognized, you're enough, you're accepted, and you're loved by the God of all creation who sent his son to come die for you. And when you put your faith and trust in him, you understand that he died for your sins, even the ones you're going to do. Those sins were buried, he rose again because our God lives, giving us hope. When we turn and follow him, you understand that there's a future for you, that you do have confidence knowing that you have an identity as a son or daughter of the King of Kings. You are royalty, and he's always had you in his hands. Remember whose hands you're in.